Liverpool had Xabi Alonso available. He is a Liverpool legend. He won the Champions League there as a player. He has been the most talked about potential Liverpool manager for 3 years straight. And when Liverpool finally had a vacancy, he'd already signed for Chelsea. So instead, Liverpool turned to a 43-year-old Spaniard from a club with a stadium that holds 11,000 people. A club that, 15 years ago, was playing in the fourth tier of English football with a 17-point penalty. A club called Bournemouth. Andoni Iraola is about to become the manager of Liverpool Football Club. And right now, half of football doesn't even know who he is. To understand why this appointment matters, you first have to understand how we got here. 1 year ago, Arne Slot lifted the Premier League trophy. Liverpool were champions. Salah had scored 29 goals. The whole thing looked seamless, like replacing Jurgen Klopp was actually going to be fine. Then the 2025-26 season started. Liverpool had spent big. Florian Wirtz came in. Alexander Isak came in. Hugo Ekitike, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong. This was supposed to be a squad built to defend the title and push for the Champions League. Instead, they finished fifth. 25 points behind Arsenal. No cups. No European run. And Mohamed Salah, the man who made Slot's first season look easy, was gone. Liverpool have parted ways with Arne Slot after the Dutch manager who won the Premier League title for the club in his first season failed to live up to expectations in a rollercoaster second season where they finished fifth. Slot was reportedly shocked when Liverpool told him. He found out 90 minutes before the club made it public. 90 minutes. The man who won them the title given 90 minutes notice. And now Liverpool need a new manager. Fast. The name everyone wanted was obvious. Xabi Alonso. He played for Liverpool. He won the Champions League in Istanbul as a Liverpool player. He is Spanish, tactically brilliant, and had been mooted as a future Liverpool manager since he first started coaching at Real Sociedad B. Even Slot himself made a joke about it earlier this season. A reporter asked him about Alonso and Slot laughed.
Maybe you've talked to Xabi, maybe he called you.
Yeah, he called me. He called me and asked, what do you think about the team? Because I'm going to take over in 6 months. So can you tell me a little bit more? Or maybe earlier, maybe he takes over tomorrow.
It was a punchline. And then it almost came true. Alonso had left Real Madrid earlier in 2026 after a brutal spell, sacked less than a year after being appointed. And suddenly he was available. Chelsea moved fast. They offered him the job before Liverpool had even decided what to do with Slot. By the time Liverpool pulled the trigger, Alonso was already Chelsea's manager. Jamie Carragher, a Liverpool legend himself, summed it up perfectly.
I think the sign of someone with the calibre of his playing career alone, but also certainly him being seen as one of the real up-and-coming big managers of the future. And it's really exciting for Chelsea. Great appointment.
So now Liverpool had a vacancy, a World Cup about to take half their squad, and their dream candidate was working for the enemy. That's when the name Andoni Iraola started appearing everywhere. Born in Usurbil, a small town in the Basque country of Spain, Iraola grew up in the same footballing culture that produced Xabi Alonso, Mikel Arteta, and Unai Emery. As a player, he spent over a decade at Athletic Bilbao as a right back. 12 years at the same club. Not a superstar, but respected for his work rate, tactical intelligence, and understanding of the game. His last club as a player was New York City FC in MLS. He retired in 2017, went back to Spain, and started coaching the youth team at his childhood club. Then came his first head coach job. AEK Larnaca, in Cyprus. It did not go well. He was sacked after 2 months without a win. Most managers would have their confidence shaken. Iraola took another job. He went to Mirandes, a second-tier Spanish club. Nobody outside of Spain had heard of them. And he took them to the Copa del Rey semifinals. A second-division club. Knocked out Celta Vigo. Knocked out Sevilla. Knocked out Villarreal. All top-flight teams. the whole of Spanish football suddenly knew who Andoni Iraola was. In the summer of 2020, Iraola took over Rayo Vallecano. Now, if you don't know Rayo, here's what you need to know. They are a working-class club from the Vallecas neighborhood of Madrid. Their stadium has no Wi-Fi in the press area. Until recently, no running water in the bathrooms. No online ticketing. Fans queue overnight just to buy season tickets. This is not a club with resources. This is not a club that competes with the big boys. And Iraola took them up to La Liga. Then kept them there. Then had them pushing for European football. At Rayo, he built his identity. High press. Aggressive ball recovery. Vertical, fast, direct football. Force mistakes in dangerous areas. Win the ball high. Play forward immediately. If we only dedicate ourselves to defending and counterattacking when we can, I think we won't stay up. You can't have just one version, you have to adapt to your rival, and that's what we try to do. That wasn't just talk. At one point under Iraola, Rayo were second in La Liga for ball recoveries per match, third for winning the ball the highest distance up the pitch. A promoted club playing pressing football that most big clubs can't replicate. And nobody outside Spain was talking about him yet. In the summer of 2023, Bournemouth hired Iraola. A club that 15 years earlier had been in the 4th division with a 17-point deduction. A club whose entire stadium holds 11,000 people. A club in a seaside town. And the early signs were not good. 9 games without a win. 6 defeats. The players didn't understand the system. The press thought he was the wrong appointment. The fans were getting nervous. When I arrived, you were probably all asking yourselves, who on earth is this bloke? Iraola said that himself. With a smile. Because he never wavered. He believed in what he was building. He told his players, this system works, it just takes time to learn. And then it clicked. Bournemouth finished 12th in his first season. Then 9th. Then 6th, qualifying for European football for the first time in the club's 127-year history. 3 seasons. 12th, 9th, 6th, breaking their own Premier League points record every single year. And he did it by losing key players every single summer. Defenders left. Attackers were sold in January. It didn't matter. Iraola just found a way. Pep Guardiola, the greatest manager of his generation, was asked about Iraola.
Yeah, we could not match up his intensity, all the situation long balls. We could not win it, and when you don't win this type of balls to Semenyo or central defenders, strikers, after you had to defend deeper, we struggled to make our build-up. But
when Guardiola uses words like that, you pay attention. So what does Iraola actually do? What's the system Liverpool are buying into? The foundation is a hybrid high press. Not just chasing the ball blindly that gets you exposed. Iraola's version is structured. His team's set up in a zonal shape first. They force the opposition into certain areas, cut off central passing lanes, push the ball wide. And then, the moment the trigger happens, a goalkeeper receiving a back pass, a centre-back under pressure, they jump into man-to-man marking and swarm. The goal is simple: win the ball high up the pitch, and play forward immediately. The first thing we try to do when we recover the ball is play to the number 9. That's Iraola's identity in one sentence. No recycling, no safety passes, no playing out for the sake of it. Win the ball, attack. Under this system, Bournemouth led the Premier League in ball recoveries. And they did it with a squad whose combined transfer fees were less than what Liverpool spent on one player. Now imagine that intensity with Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, and Dominic Szoboszlai. This is exactly what Liverpool told the press they want. A shift in identity. More aggression. More energy. More of a Klopp-era DNA. And Iraola has already proven he can deliver it, he just hasn't done it at this level yet. And that's the thing. That's the part that makes this appointment exciting and terrifying at the same time. Every step in Iraola's career has been a step up that nobody believed he could handle. AEK Larnaca? Failure. Came back stronger. Mirandes? Copa del Rey semifinals. Nobody saw it coming. Rayo Vallecano? La Liga survival, then European push. Impossible without resources. Bournemouth? 6th place. First European football in the club's history. With a squad that would be the 4th richest club in a Spanish mid-table battle. Every single time the jump looked too big, he cleared it. But this is Liverpool. This is Anfield. This is a club that expects Champions League football. That expects trophies. That expects to compete with Arsenal, City, and whoever Chelsea become under Alonso. And here is the other thing people miss. Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes, the man who ultimately backed this appointment, is the same man who hired Iraola at Bournemouth. He knows him. He's seen this system up close for 3 years. He believes in it. That's not a punt. That's a conviction. Liverpool are giving him that time. 2 years. A full squad. A Champions League campaign. And a fanbase that is desperate, after one of the most confusing 12 months in the club's recent history, to believe again. The question of whether Andoni Iraola can manage Liverpool isn't really a question about tactics. It isn't really a question about resources or reputation or whether he's a big enough name. It's a question of whether the pattern holds. There are managers, clubs, and stories connected to everything you just watched that we haven't touched yet. The debt football owes. The disciples who built empires. The teams that came closest. This series is just getting started. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Because the next chapter is already coming.